Hey YouTube, this is Jaden coming at you with another deck profile, and it will be another deck profile out of set 12, and in this one I am going to be bringing you my Eradicator VowingSwordREVERSE deck profile, and it... I really don't know how I feel about this deck yet. I just put it together the way that I would play it, and I'm going to have to play test with it. It's one of those decks at first glance I don't think you would want to try, but it also looks like a deck that might be fun to play and might actually have a little bit... a pretty good matchup against the meta right now, so I'm going to definitely do some playtesting. I do like the deck. I've played against it by other people, and then I've put my own spin on it, and I think, not to blow my own horn here, I think this is the better build that I've seen so far, so I'm going to look forward to playtesting it. So anyway, let's jump right into this deck profile. For my starter, I play Eradicator Blade Hang Draco Kid. I think this is the best option for this deck. You're free to use Linshu or the Grade 3 Searcher if you please. His ability is, put this unit into your soul. When your opponent, well, obviously he's a Forerunner, he slides out when a Grade 1 rides him, and then his ability is, put this unit into your soul. When your opponent's rearguard is put into the drop zone due to an effect from one of your cards with Eradicator in its card name, choose your Vanguard with Vowing in its card name, and this unit gets plus 3,000 and plus 1 critical until the end of turn. So it works with when you break ride with Vowing Sword Dragon, whether you ride Vowing Sword Dragon on top of Vowing Sword Dragon or you cross break ride. So he's just a good early pressure card. That's why I like him. We play 4 and 7 crits. And then we play 4 and 5 draws and 4 heals. For grade 1s, we play 4 copies of Eradicator Wyvern Guard Gold. He's our perfect guard. Pretty obvious reason why we would play 4 in this meta. Crud. There we go. 4 copies of Eradicator Demolition Dragon. This is our 10k attacker, so in early game it can provide a good rush, or in late game it's there if you need an attacker in the late game. So very, very good. 4 copies of Ceremonial Bonfire Eradicator Caster. This would be another card if I could find it, but I guess I don't have any, which kind of confuses me. It's a grade 1 where if one of your opponent's rear guards is retired, he gains plus 3,000 power. I do not have any of them, but oh well, gotta use what I have. So, and then 2 Eradicator of Fire Kaiji. If you do have any of those grade 1s that I mentioned, I might be willing to trade for them. But if you're a player from my locals and you watch this and you have a play set of that, please set them aside and I will trade for them. Grade 2s, we play 4 Eradicator Spark Rain Dragon. This is our 12k attacker. Again, not real hard to figure out why we play these. Helps us create big columns. 3 Double Gun Eradicator Hakusho. I like this card a lot better than Richo-Shin, even though I do play Richo-Shin. I do like this card better because its base power is 9,000, so it's a little easier to protect. His ability is the exact same as Richo-Shin. When a unit is put into the drop zone due to an effect from one of your Eradicators, he gets plus 3,000 power, putting him at 12,000 power, so I do like him. And then Richo-Shin's ability is when your opponent... Oh, and then 2 copies of Homing Eradicator Richo-Shin. His ability on the rear guard is when your opponent's rear guard is put into the drop zone due to an effect of one of your cards. If you have a Vanguard with Eradicator in its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of turn, putting him at 13. So, that's... I play 3 and 2. I think this is a good grouping because these are harder to protect as opposed to these aren't, so it's just my preference. And then I play 2 copies of Supreme Army Eradicator Zuiton just for damage flipping. That's mainly it. These I want to replace in this deck With 2 copies, it's a grade 2 Eradicator where when it's called, you select a rear guard and move it into your soul, and you get to pop one of your opponent's rear guards. I want 2 copies of that card. I do not know what it's called. So if you have 2 copies of that card or any copies of it, excuse me, let me know and I will trade for them. That's what these would be, but right now I'm just playing Zuiton. And then for grade 3s, we play 4 copies of Eradicator Vowing Sword Dragon. It is our Narukami Break Ride. His ability is Limit Break. When a Narukami rides this unit, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and retire it. And choose your Vanguard, and that unit receives plus 10,000 until the end of turn. So it's a very good card. What I'd like to do essentially is to Break Ride a Vowing Sword on top of a Vowing Sword first before I cross Break Ride, and use him to just apply that extra pressure before I go into my cross Break Ride. So, and then his second ability is when he swings, if your opponent is at 3 damage, he can attack for 13, making him hit cross ride. So very good. And then our boss of the deck is 4 copies of Eradicator Vowing Sword Dragon Reverse. It's our very first cross break ride in the English meta. So can't wait to say that term for the first time. Also, I really wish on YouTube more English Vanguard episodes would be released, because in the next 2 episodes will be this thing's release, and I really want to hear what reversed fighters sound like in English. I mean, do they sound the same? Do they just sound evil? Do they have a little darker tint to their voice? But I really want to see this thing in an episode. But anyway, I'm going to read to you the SP. His ability is Limit Break. Counterblast 2 and choose 2 of your rear guards with Eradicator and its card names and lock them. Your opponent chooses 2 of his or her rear guards, retires them, and this unit receives plus 10,000 power until the end of turn. And then his ability is if you have Vowing Sword Dragon in the soul, he receives plus 2,000 power, making him a solid 13k power at all times, making him real easy to guard for. So very, very good card. In theory, it's going to take some time for me playtesting with it to see if I really like this deck, because I had to tear apart my Descendant to do it. I do think Descendant is better than this, mainly just because I love Descendant, but maybe I'll be proved wrong. Maybe this deck is equal with Descendant in his own way. I wouldn't recommending you doing his ability twice in one turn, because you're going to have to lock 4 rear guards to do it. I mean, it's up to you, but I think this deck is better if you go for the control slow approach. Maybe you break ride, pop 1 unit, spend that turn attacking, then next turn use his ability once, then attack, then the next turn do it again. But that's just my opinion. So I will try and get some playtesting with this deck in, and I'm going to do some recording with these deck profiles between this, my Garmor Liberator, and my Raging Form Dragon deck for you guys soon. So I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. In the comment section below, feel free to share your thoughts with the deck. Tell me suggestions you might have. If you had the grade 1, that when a rear guard is retired, he gains plus 3,000 power, let me know. And if you have the grade 2, where when he's called, you put a rear guard into your soul to pop one of your opponent's rear guards, let me know about that too. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up this video for me, and I'll see you later.